Ohayo.
Welcome to the So Japanese podcast, a podcast about all things Japan from a
Japanese.
and foreign perspective. We are your hosts. My name is John.
My name is Ryusuke.
Thank you for joining us today.
ありがとうございます。
Before we start, just a friendly reminder, a nudge to go click on our Buy Me a Coffee link and send us some support if you
お願いします。
feel like it.
Yeah.
No pressure.
If you like it.
But yeah, if you're enjoying these podcasts and you feel like you listen to us weekly, then yeah, show some support. We would really appreciate it.
Or yeah, give us a 5-star and then
A follow
leave some
as
comment
well.
or
Share.
reviews. Yeah. お願いします。
That helps as well. Thank you.
はい。
So today's topic is Hikikomori.
引きこもり。
I'm surprised we haven't. I think we've like talked about it or touched
Yeah,
on it,
yeah,
but we haven't
definitely.
done a full episode about it yet.
About it. Yeah.
So yeah, we decided to go for it. So Hikikomori is it started off in Japan
Yeah.
in the 90s after the economic downturn. A lot of people lost their jobs.
Yeah.
It was hard to find jobs.
Yeah.
Japanese societal pressure and made them into hikikomori. So hikikomori in Japanese, what does it mean?
It means you stay in your room and except going bathroom, I don't think I think like they don't come out.
Okay.
Just stay in the room.
The room.
Yeah.
The Japanese Ministry of Health, Labor, and Welfare defines hikikomori as a condition in which the affected individuals refuse to leave their parents' house, do not work, do not go to school, and isolate themselves away from society and family in a single room for a period exceeding 6 months.
Yep.
The psychiatrist who coined the term hikikomori, Tamaki Saito, defines it as a state that has become a problem by the late 20s that involves cooping oneself up in one's own home and not participating in society for 6 months or longer, but does not seem to have another psychological problem as its principal source. So it's a mental issue that doesn't have any underlying issues, or the other issues is not the main one. I think, yeah.
Yeah. That's why I guess there's so many hikikomori in Japan, because they don't recognize as some health issue. They more think about like, oh, it's your fault. Like
Okay.
fault.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's like your problem, right?
Yeah.
Another psychiatrist out of Europe thinks that hikikomori individuals are postmodern hermits. So I guess there's always been people who just want to stay at home
Or like
whatever the reason. But I think the real to be a hikikomori, it can't be like you have schizophrenia as well, or like other disorders. And this guy thinks that the reason why you like solitude or the reason why you withdraw from society is because in your ancestry you have the DNA of a hermit. Yeah.
yeah. I felt when I was young,
Yeah.
but I think fortunately my parents owns coffee shop under my house. I mean, we live upstairs, so it's kind of, there's no way I can stay home forever because I have to do my stuff like cooking and shit. Also, I don't want to bother the business, like what the fuck.
Oh, because your parents were always working.
Yeah.
You had to take care of yourself.
Yes.
But if you really like
Maybe.
are a hikikomori,
Yeah.
you would
Yeah.
find a
But
way.
I always feel like, yeah, I could be.
Okay.
If there
I
was
think
something.
everyone
Yeah.
has like that idea or like just
The
like want
moment.
to stay home.
Yeah,
or,
yeah, 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 yeah. Right.
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 I feel like it's like definitely a form of depression. Like to
Mm-hmm.
me, if you were to stay home for a long period of time, like not leave your room, stay in
Mhm.
bed,
Mm-hmm.
I would think that like you're depressed,
Yeah.
right? First,
Yeah.
I would think that.
Mm-hmm.
So the numbers in Japan, I think it's like it's hard to get the real number because these hikikomori are not gonna tell
Show-
you. Or
yes, they're not gonna show up. I am hikikomori
exactly.
here. Yeah.
So they think that there's about 1 million hikikomori in Japan from the
Mhm.
ages of 15 to 64,
Mm-hmm.
and the number is just increasing.
Mm-hmm.
Often hikikomori
Mhm.
start out as what they call in Japan futoko.
Yep.
So it's just like school. They call them school refusers, but I guess
Yeah.
people who drop out, or they
Yeah.
just don't feel like they want to conform to the traditional way of education or going to
Mhm.
school. Why do I need to go to
Mhm.
school?
Mm-hmm.
Have you, like in Japan,
Mm-hmm.
are hikikomori this issue like
Yeah.
on the news a lot, or like
On the news, here and there at some point. Why? Because of like sometimes those hikikomori people, they harm parents.
okay?
Sometimes they kill. Sometimes
Mhm.
they.
I remember there's a case where
Yeah.
they wanted to continue collecting benefits or something.
Yes, but I found out one instant. This guy was hikikomori. He's 60,
Mm-hmm.
and then he killed both parents because his dad was sick, so he
Mhm.
can't do all his stuff by himself.
Okay.
So he asked son to taking
out.
care of his like like pee and stuff.
Okay.
And he said that that time I decided to kill him.
All right.
He think like this is fucking stupid. So it's already to
Maybe
me
he's
that's
thinking like if I need to take care of you at this point, you're no longer worth to be alive,
yeah. I mean,
or you're bothering my hikikomori time.
I guess that way.
Mm-hmm.
But like, you don't have any income. You get money from your parents.
Mm-hmm.
How come? Like, I think they're isolate too long
Yeah.
from other
Mm-hmm.
society, and then they really don't think what's good way or bad way.
Mm-hmm.
And my cousins, I have two cousins.
Mm-hmm.
One is he's actually okay now,
Okay.
but he was hikikomori for like several years.
Mm-hmm.
I had a good relationship with him when we were kids, like young,
Mm-hmm.
like 7, and then he was like 5.
Mm-hmm.
He was funny kid.
Mm-hmm.
He was so like he always smiling and happy, but somehow it turned in totally wrong way.
After high school, or
I think around that time,
Mhm.
because I haven't talked to him like after.
How about
like
his
10
parents?
His parents, it's okay for me. Like my aunt and uncle, right?
So he lives with them.
Yeah,
The cousins are brother and siblings.
he has one big sister and then one younger sister, so he's in between.
Okay.
He's in the middle.
Uh-huh.
So I was kind of shocked when I heard like he's staying home all the time.
Mm-hmm.
But then I heard because he was working, but he did some mistake. They give him more more position, like bigger position. So
Mhm.
like he have to taking care of more stuff.
Mm-hmm.
But it was too much for him. Yeah. So at least he was
Mm-hmm.
after school.
Well, for sure, as we always mention, like work environment in Japan is super stressful. It
Yeah.
makes sense that this is like a Japanese problem.
Mm-hmm.
But from doing our research, there are cases around the
Mhm.
world now.
Yeah.
Like many other countries also recognize the Hikikomori syndrome.
Yeah.
But maybe the reason why it was discovered in Japan is because of Japan's work environment, society, pressures.
Yeah, it's
right.
way too much.
It's uniquely Japan. Right?
Yeah, too much pressure because like I have other cousins.
Mm-hmm.
He's also I think he played baseball all the time and he was really good, but he fell.
Okay.
So he couldn't be a professional, right? And after that, I heard he was working all the time, but then he never had a good relationship with other employee.
Okay.
And I heard he was smoking cigarette, and he was smoking cigarette. He shouldn't smoke that area.
Okay.
So then other people told him not to do it, and then he turning like psycho. Like he's like, "What the fuck? I'm gonna fucking kill you or something."
Oh wow.
So he got fired from work, and then since then he stayed home.
Okay.
Like doing nothing. And then he has younger brother. He left home because of big brothers like that. He doesn't want to stay with them.
Interesting.
Yeah, but for him, I think my other aunt and uncle, they're too nice to him.
Okay.
It's almost like they're trying to take care of everything. So it's okay, you can stay home if you want to.
Enable it.
Yeah. So that gives him like, okay, so they will listen to me no matter what, right?
We'll talk about it more after, but like it is like the common thing is that the parents have to take care of the Hikikomori.
Yes.
And you mentioned both your cousins are male. So I think when they started like treating or recognizing it as Hikikomori, most of them were men. But I think now it's like almost 50-50.
50-50, yeah.
Girls and guys are becoming social recluses, or they
I
want
feel
to withdraw
like
from society.
I feel like there was always 50-50, but somehow the media focus more male than female.
Okay.
But because of now, there's social media and everything, right? So you can see more like evenly, like both sex with hikikomori.
So there's hikikomori expert group in Japan, and they characterize a hikikomori as a person who spends most of their time at home, nearly every day at home, no interest in going to school or working, avoidance of social situations and social relationships, the persistence of withdrawal for more than 6 months, the exclusion of schizophrenia, intellectual disability, and bipolar disorder, and the social withdrawal symptoms cause significant functional impairment. So you just can't like live a normal functional life, right?
Yeah.
You don't want to maintain friendships. You don't want to have friends. You don't even, it sounds like a lot of them, they don't even have relationships with their parents, although they're taking care of them.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
So I don't know, to me, it really sounds like depression, like deep depression. Definitely it's a form of depression. For them, I feel like time doesn't matter. Like apparently I was watching something and like they say that a lot of them, they don't have clocks. They don't want to look at the time because
just
it
night
doesn't
and
matter.
day.
Yeah, it doesn't matter for them, right? They feel like the society doesn't understand them.
Yeah.
I feel like in Japan, remember that saying that we talked about in the school life in Japan, that like the nail that sticks out gets hammered first.
Yeah.
So maybe they feel like they don't belong in the rigid, strict Japanese society. But if you deviate from that, if you don't want to put on a suit and go to work, if you don't want to go to university, if you don't want to work certain jobs or whatever, then Japan sees you as like worthless to society. You don't add anything.
I think because Japan is always like you do something with others, right? Teamwork. But like really teamwork, and like everybody has to do exactly the same thing in the same way, in the same order.
Yeah.
But like we're all different. So
exactly.
You can't fucking telling some people, oh, you're doing bad. You keep doing bad. So of course those people lose their confidence.
Yeah.
And like
it's doing. They say bad because you're not conforming to society.
Exactly.
Anything that's a little different is bad, right?
Yes. I think that's the most problem in Japanese work situation. And
definitely, I think it's a cause. Like it's a reason for, or it causes hikikomori.
Yeah,
syndrome.
and that's how people expecting to others, and then that's how we think. That's you guys think how we should be, but at the end, it's like who fucking care, right? But
your two cousins, would you call them hikikomori?
I think so.
So like, do their parents think, oh yeah, I have a hikikomori son?
Well, I think those people who actually being in a hikikomori and families, I don't think they say often they use the word. They'll more say like, oh yeah, he stay home. He doesn't come out.
In the research, Spain said only 30% of their hikikomori's population is addicted to the internet.
Okay.
So I felt that maybe this is like a recent phenomenon because of the internet. It's easy. Like back then, I couldn't do this. I will die because I can't order Uber Eats.
Yes.
I can't like, get entertainment. The ease of life through the internet is not available, right? But now
everything
is available in your cell phone, right?
Yeah.
So I thought that technology definitely did not maybe necessarily cause it, but it helps a lot for if someone wants to socially withdraw, right?
But that means, is that really hikikomori? Because you actually have connection with others, like outside of your,
So I think it's not, but it makes it easier.
Yeah.
Unless there's also levels of hikikomori.
Yeah.
But to be a hikikomori, you can't work, right? It's not like I can work remotely.
That's true.
Right.
But I don't know. Some people might work, or some people doing trade or shit and make some money. I don't know.
I think that's not considered hikikomori.
Okay,
I
so
think hikikomori
is rely on parents.
Rely on someone.
Yeah.
For financial help. Someone, right?
Yeah.
But not necessarily your parents, but generally it's your parents, right? So the pressure of Japanese society is a possible cause.
Yeah.
People say that hikikomori syndrome is closely related to PTSD. So like you said, maybe your cousin, successful baseball player, but didn't make it all the way.
And couldn't fit with other people
or
at the work.
It's so Japanese, right? But the shame of, like you said, failing. Caused stress. Yeah. And now they have post-traumatic stress because, or I really wanted this job. I studied all universities to get this one job at this one company. And I didn't get hired, or I got fired for something. And then that's the stress. And then I think it's common as a defense mechanism for humans to like, if something is uncomfortable or like I don't like something or I feel like it's dangerous, is to like step away, to withdraw, right? This is just the most extreme form. Like,
yeah, that's true.
Like it's stressful. Outside is stressful.
Yeah.
I have to find a job now, right? I have to, and then if I do find a job, that means I have to work 16 hours a day.
Uh-huh.
Right? So the pressure of finding a job, but then I'm not going to be happy
anyway. Yeah. That's
right?
true.
It's stressful for sure.
Yeah.
They feel that they don't belong, or the way they think doesn't fit like the Japanese society, Japanese environment, right?
Yeah.
People also say that people that are hikikomori also might be on the autism spectrum, right? Because I think social withdrawal is a symptom of it. But like you said before, like Japan, it feels like it's not a place. We talked about it in, I don't know, maybe the drinking episode or something like that, or drugs or something like that, where rehab is not a thing in Japan.
Yeah, I mean,
it is. There is
right now,
but
yes,
like,
but still, yeah,
right.
It's
and
no.
So like, I think if it's not physical, if it's a mental issue,
Exactly.
Japan doesn't really recognize it that much. Maybe the government and the health system does, but people, your peers, people of society, they don't really recognize depression. They don't recognize,
like, so many people have depression, but they can't say anything. They just need to go work anyway, or they really can't. And yes, they get a doctor's note, but still they say, I have a depression, and they feel the company feel like, so what? Like, can you work or not?
And I feel like in the Western world, even the Western world is really far behind in terms of recognizing like mental issues, mental disorders, right? Like especially in sport.
Yeah.
Right. Only recently have athletes or professional athletes come out and say like, hey, I have like, I'm not all mentally healthy all the time. Right. But I think the old school mentality of being like macho, like just get on with it.
Yeah. It's
not healthy, right?
It's not healthy.
So anytime you don't recognize or you don't create an environment where a person feels safe to ask for help or tell people that they're not feeling perfectly fine all the time, without that environment, it just makes it worse and worse and worse for the person.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
Because to me, hikikomori is like so extreme. Right? Especially the form where, like, if you don't use the internet, like,
oh yeah, that's the next level.
To me, arguably, if you're hikikomori, but you spend your all day playing video games or reading anime or manga or whatever, and then your parents leave food at the door, right? Like, you're on the internet all the time. It's like,
it's okay.
Kind of cheating.
Yeah, that's
what I want to do on a day off.
Yeah, it's luxury set up.
Honestly,
you get a fucking food, and
right?
you have freedom forever. Yeah.
The Asian education system, I feel, puts way more pressure on students, kids, than like the Western world.
Yeah.
Maybe that's why. But I think the Western world doesn't really recognize hikikomori itself too, perhaps. Maybe that, but
I think also the Japanese school system, there's always like a caste in between student and student.
Oh yeah?
Yes. So that makes also
based on what? Like
based
your
on
family or like
it's
money?
More like based on like
coolness.
You're more active or you're more not active. So like more active kids, they do stupid shit and like they learn, they're more active, right?
Okay, yeah.
But if like some kids, they're more like shy
withdrawn.
or like more.
So it's like the jocks and the nerds.
Yes, yeah.
Okay.
And then the nerds type of kids might be that happen, but you can't really. It could be from the jerks too, because like in the jerks group, there's a caste too, right?
Did you say jerks or jocks?
Jerks. But
it kind of works if you say jerks too.
Yeah. Jerks.
So would you say bullying is an
yes,
issue.
bullying. Yeah.
So you think bullying could be a cause for people to withdraw?
Yeah.
Because the guy said like it's supposed to be like in your 20s. So I guess like after high school.
But some kids also like become futoko.
Okay.
Means don't go school.
And do you think it's because of bullying a lot of the times? Or is it like
mostly for kids because of like school, like bullying, or like some friends did something bad to them and then like they decide not to. Yeah.
Whenever you hear of like bullying and like a kid commits suicide because of bullying, it's like so heartbreaking.
Yeah.
Do they have a lot of those cases in Japan? Occasionally you hear about it here, but
there's
right.
always
right.
There's always in the news.
But how about like pressure from like getting good grades? Do you think like maybe overbearing parents, really strict parents too, right?
That means by parents. So I think there's always like a community issue, like a human and human. Like parents or friends. That's how they became like, oh, I don't trust you, or like I don't trust this society. Why mine as well are gonna be isolated forever?
I feel like now, only recently, like from watching the news, are people talking about bullying. Like back in the day when we were going to school, I feel like it wasn't taken so seriously.
To go to school?
No, like to be bullied or that there is
yeah.
It's just like,
of course,
right?
Because it's kids,
right?
Yeah.
But like now, I feel like there's protocols in place in schools where like to address bullying, but still very far behind. Like a lot of people get like I hear about my friends' kids. They go to school and like they get beaten up by the older kids or whatever. And like obviously must be some sort of bullying there, but like the administration, the school, they just think, oh, it's just kids.
I mean,
so it's hard, right?
Yeah,
it's
just
hard.
kids. But now kids have this technology like phones and shit.
That's even worse. I think like that's how a lot of people. The reason why a lot of people like drop out of school or like even just commit suicide as kids because of the bullying through social media. Or
some sort of app you can always chat and talk, and you can see the lead mark, like kidoku suru. That happened too in Japan a lot.
What people
like some like my niece and nephews, sometimes they talk like, oh, I don't talk with this person, or like they kind of not talking to me, but they still do kidoku suru, and then like I feel like you guys so busy, and then it's so hard to deal with this because it's 24/7 now. When we were kids, after we say bye-bye,
after school,
you can think about friends, but until tomorrow we have no way to contact. But now they talk all the time.
Or the most was like if you do a 3-way telephone call.
Yeah.
That was the max, right?
Yeah.
So the impact of hikikomori is one of them is the financial burden on the family. So much so that like there's advice given to parents of hikikomori kids that or people that before you die you should have a plan, or you have your will set up where like your hikikomori can function, can continue living even though you die, because there's no form of income, right? And that maybe parents, they don't ask for help, or they don't seek help for their son or daughter is because of the embarrassment that you have hikikomori at home, right? And I think if you do, there is maybe like public assistance you can get
Mm-hmm.
from the government,
Mm-hmm.
but people are afraid to
Ask
because
help.
it's shameful, it's embarrassing,
Yeah.
right?
Yep.
As a society, as a country,
Mm.
they feel hikikomori people don't contribute to society. Like you're not contributing to the economy, you're not working,
Mm-hmm.
you're not spending money,
Mm-hmm.
right? So you're seen as like a burden on the government as well, because now I need to
Do
send
something.
doctors.
Yeah.
You know,
Yeah.
that's a way to address it, right? Therapy, counseling, but you need to cater to the hikikomori, right? So you need to send doctors there.
Mm-hmm.
That's hard.
Yeah.
I think right now in Tokyo there's a hikikomori like help clinic, help center. So
But-
it's getting more prevalent, right?
But how are they gonna go? They don't go out.
Right, I don't get it.
Are they coming to them? I hope so. Or they don't want to talk
Mhm.
anyone. That's also the issue.
I think the main thing is I guess it'll never change. We always talk about like how we want Japan to change sometimes, but like it's society,
Mm-hmm.
right? To recognize mental disorders more and to recognize individualism, differences more, so people don't feel like, okay, just because I don't follow the Japanese path of working for Toyota for my whole life, I'm not shit, right? It's just, they think that, like researchers think that this hikikomori problem is just going to get worse. And COVID also didn't help too, because it gave them more like reason to stay home, right? It was more accepted to stay home.
Yeah, because that's
like now everyone's hikikomori. Everyone's like me.
Yeah.
I don't know. I joke about it, but I do recognize that this is like a serious issue, and this is like a very hardcore problem, right? Like to be a hikikomori, like,
But
I wish there was more help for these people. But it's like a recent phenomenon, and also, affects 1 million that they say. Maybe it's still not enough for it to be recognized. I mean, in Japan, it's like, does everyone know hikikomori? Like this term, does everyone?
Yeah, I think everybody knows. Yeah,
recognizes it.
Yeah, everybody recognizes when you heard that.
Do you think every family has one? Is it that?
My family,
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, so not every family, but
My cousin, probably if we were in Japan, he would probably be considered a hikikomori.
like
But he's
don't
actually
really-
not right. He just stays home all the time, but he
He has a job,
I think he day trades or something.
so he make money.
Who knows?
Hopefully.
What did they say? Like, isn't it just like 1% of day traders actually make money,
Yeah.
right?
Yeah.
Or like can last past a year or something like that?
You like you can make money at beginning
If you're lucky,
and then
if you're lucky,
but that lucky
Mhm.
gives you more,
Mhm.
so
courage.
yeah.
Uh-huh.
But then at the end, you lost everything.
So you think this is like a problem that will just get worse in Japan?
Well, I hope not. Then I hope there's gonna be some support, or even like that those people will find out you don't need to go out. Like there's an internet. Just do
Exactly,
something
exactly.
online
Uh-huh.
or talk or whatever, right?
Mhm,
Like
do you think it's necessary for humans to have like the human face-to-face touch, or or could you survive just through like a phone screen talking to people or chatting?
Well, I think it's necessary in
Yeah.
general,
Mhm.
but not for everyone.
A lot of these hikikomori also, they don't shower.
Yeah,
It
if
just
you don't,
sounds like, to me it sounds like deep depression.
it is.
Like,
So
It's so sad for these people.
it's actually mental disorder.
Yeah.
So it's not normal.
Mm-hmm.
They need a help.
Mm-hmm.
So I think government should more recognize and then open to them to can I say like fix the issue? Like
Another thing is that like to get help, to get therapy costs a lot of money.
that's why government needs to support that.
Right?
Yeah.
So like I have a mental issue that I need help with, but I can't afford to get the help. It's crazy.
Or that gives you more mental issue because like how I gonna my financial issues there. I need the help.
Stress.
Yes.
Yeah.
So I mean to live this world now, there's a lot of stress, but I guess that's why do not think too much, right? Just don't think too much. You have to think, but at the same time, what are you gonna do? You have something? You should be. I think once you feel happy, then everything is over. Because of you depressed, of course, you never been happy. You don't feel like you wanna do something. That means you don't wanna go out, right? So, but I can feel it. I understand that. I never been, but I have.
Me too.
Yeah, but I have depression many times, and then, but still, I decide to go out when I'm depressed, because I'm scared to be never gonna go out. So that's the difference, I guess.
In countries with long winters, it's also
Yeah. That's
too,
actually
right?
more,
and then you get like seasonal depression.
Yes, because you're automatically you have to be isolated. You have to stay home, right? And also alcohol, right? Because it's cold. That's true. But yeah, I hope Japan can fix this, and I think so. There's gonna be some good things gonna happen.
Just watching like the documentaries, in preparing for this episode,
it's hard.
It's so sad.
Yeah.
But
yeah.
It seems like also helpless too. Yeah, I don't know.
Yeah.
What's the solution or like, yeah.
And yeah, because like I watch several documentary too. Those people who is on the camera, they might be better than other. There's really someone they don't like.
Exactly.
What the fuck? Why camera? I'm not gonna fucking show my life, right? That I think that's most of it. So those people who's on camera, it's actually
they're not.
They're still okay, or they need the help.
They recognize the help. That's
yeah.
Right.
So yeah.
That's true.
Well,
anything else to add?
No. Be happy. We need to be happy.
I hope you enjoyed this episode.
Hi.
If you have any more episode suggestions, topic suggestions, please feel free to contact us, DM us, email us.
We mostly do talk after. Yeah. Sometimes it takes time because we need to think, and then but
yeah, we try our best to get to every suggestion.
Yeah.
So thank you for listening. Matane. Bye bye.
Bye bye. Matane.